Hello guys, you're welcome back once again. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew your inner for your lace, for anywhere that you think you dress that you need something to wear under it. So I'm going to be showing you in details of how I cut and sew it from beginning to the end. So if today is the first time of watching my channel, you are welcome back. And if you are a return subscriber, you are highly welcome as well. I really appreciate you guys for always watching my tutorial. God bless you. So I'm going to be showing you how I cut and sew it from beginning to the end. So if this is something you are looking for, you can just stay back and watch this tutorial in details. So the fabric used for this tutorial is a yori yori material. The material is called yori yori or obibi. I think that is what it's called. It's called yori yori or obibi fabric. Actually, I just asked one of my girls to test the inner for me for this tutorial. That's why it's not a size, but at least just to do this tutorial. So let's get back to work and see how it goes. So here is the fabric we are working with in this tutorial. This fabric you are watching on the screen right now is called Obibi. It's called Obibi or Yuri Yuri. Yeah, that is what I think they call it. Yes. So this is it. Now, anytime you want to cut your inner, for anything, just follow this procedure and you will definitely love it. So the first thing you need to do is to measure out your length measurement, your desired length measurement. That is the first thing you need to do. For this tutorial, I use 1.5 yard of this fabric you are seeing on the screen right now. I use 1.5 yard, and here we have the length here is 50. So if the 50 you have here is not enough, you can decide to change the direction of your fabric. But as for me, for this tutorial, I think the length I have here is okay for the tutorial I want to do, and it's okay for the person length measurement even after folding. So this is what we have. So for the length, I'm okay with 48. I'm okay if the length is ready at 48. And after you determine your length measurement, the next thing you need to consider is the person's biggest number in a measurement. And for this person is a hip measurement. A hip is 40, then plus 2-inch sewing allowance. I think I'm okay. I want to add a little bit of measurement. I think I'm okay with that. So I'm going to cut it out now. I'm going to cut it out right now. After cutting it out, so this is what we have for the anyone, because anytime you are cutting your inner, there is no zip. You don't need to add any zip allowance to your desired measurement, to your body measurement. You don't need zip allowance. And since you don't need your zip allowance, you are going to fold the second one the same thing with the first one we cut earlier. You can decide to cut the two together. Like you can decide to fold the fabric into 4 pieces and cut it together. But as for me, I always cut it separate, the front and the back separate, except if I have enough fabric, I can decide to cut it together like I said. But here I have just 1.5 inches, so I just have to like cut it like this, and so this is it. This is what I have. So I'm going to cut it out as well. And this is it after cutting it out. This is it. This is what we have. So the next thing we're going to do now is to take out our shoulder measurement, our arm measurements, and our body measurement. Thanks for joining this channel. Let's take out our measurements and see how it goes. So now what we are going to do, let's take our shoulder measurement. Our shoulder is 15. So anytime you are cutting your underwear, you don't need to add any folding allowance, any allowance to the shoulder measurement. No need. Since it's a singlet, it's not compulsory that it must reach the person shoulder. So this is it. Our shoulder measurement is 15. Then I measure exactly the same thing on our shoulder. This is it. 15 divided by 2 will give us 7.5. Then I'm going to repeat the same thing here as well. Then let me do my shoulder slant, my armhole cuff rather. Then for the person bust measurement is 40, then I added 1.5 inches to it. This is my 1.5. Then I'll come to our half length. Our half length is 15. Then I'm going to measure out our waist measurement as well. And I'm going to add my 1.5 inches to that as well. Then I'll come to our hip measurement. From our waist to our hip is 7. And I'm going to measure our hip. Our hip is 40. This is my 40 plus my 1.5 inches. Then I'm just going to do this shape in here right now. And for the neckline, I'll be using 5x5. For the neckline, 5x5. Both front and back, 5x5. This 5x5 you are using is not standard measurement, so don't be confused. This 5x5 is not standard. It just depends on the person. You are going to determine what you sew for the person, and the lining, the inner you are going to sew. The neckline must be wider than the main fabric, your main dress. The neck of your inner pocket, inner wear must be wider than the neck of your main dress, so that your main dress will not be, your inner will not be showing on your under your main dress, so it will not be like something else. So the next thing I'm doing right now is I'm cutting it out. I'm going to cut it out. After cutting it out, it's very, very simple and easy to make. It will never give you any problem, any issue. The only problem you have is when you sew it finish and the neck is showing under your main dress. That's where the problem is. So you have to be very careful and make sure that the neck of your dress is a little bit wider. So the next thing we are going to do now is to join the shoulder of our inner. We are going to join the shoulder. After joining the shoulder, we are going to use our bias. I always use ribbon to turn the neckline. I always use ribbon to turn the neckline and the armhole. That is what I do. I use ribbon to turn my neckline and my armhole. Then I'm going to join the body. So this is it. So I'm going to join the shoulder. After joining the shoulder, I'm going to use my bias. That is my ribbon to turn the neckline. This is it. This is what I'm going to be using to join the neckline. This is it. So and here is it. I already joined the shoulder and I already turned my neckline with my bias. Can you see? So the next thing I'm going to do, the one thing I always do, I don't use machine to sew the neck. I always use my hand to hem the neck so that it will be neat. You understand? But I'm going to sew the armhole. But the neck, I always use my hand to hem the neck. I hope you get it. So after doing that, I'm going to bring it back and show you what I have. And after joining the body as well, I'm going to show you what I have here. Thanks so much for joining this channel. Let me go and do that and come back and show you what I have. And this is it after I already do hemming for the neck and I already joined the body. So just join your body and that is it. So this is what we have after sewing it together. This is it. Very, very simple and easy to make. For your any lace, any of your clothes that is transparent, you can just cut this and do it. And here is the result after sewing it. This is what we have after sewing it together. Thanks so much for joining my channel. So please, if you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please don't forget to do so. The subscription button is at the down part of this video you are watching. You will see the subscription button. Just click on the subscription button and you will be right subscribe. Thanks for joining.